Hi, I'm Joel Grimes, and I'm going to do another giveaway, and this time I'm going to give some tutorials away. And not only one tutorial, but a whole bundle of 7, which is about 6 hours of training, and it's on location, portrait photography on location. And I did this a couple years ago, and it's one of my favorite series of bundles. And if you go to joelgrimesworkshops.com, you go to shop, go to the bottom, on location, you'll see all 7 of those, and we're going to give this bundle away to 5 people. So and we just do this through Gleam, and we hit a button and it randomly picks 5 people, and you get the downloads to all 7 tutorials, which is about a $320 value, and that's the bundle value. So we have the first one, which is Strobe HDR 32-bit processing, which is taking and strobing. We have a model in a lake. I've got my lights going on, and I do 3 exposures. And to get an HDR with strobe, you can't bracket shutter speed, you have to bracket your ISO. So I show all how to do that, and I get a, with the 3 files, I get, and I process it, a 32-bit file, I get tonal range, unbelievable values in transitions in all my tones, and I convert this one to black and white to show how I do that, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So you can't do it on every portrait, but when you get a chance to do it, it's just phenomenal. And you got to learn this, folks. These are some fun techniques that you got to stay current. And I use this technique. I shot a campaign for Chrysler with the trucks and the models that we had subjects in the picture, and I used that for every single 7 days of shooting. We shot that technique on every single shoot or every shot we did, and so it's something that I use in the field commercially to make a living. And so I want to pass this stuff on to you. The second tutorial is it's Strobing Portraits, Overpowering the Sun. And so this is something I've done for a lot, and a lot of photographers have been doing this for years, but I explained the whole thing, the Sunny 16 rule, the whole how to calculate all that without using a flash meter, you know, without a calculator or whatever you use to calculate your exposure. It's all done beautifully, very simply, and it's really easy. So you gotta learn that. If you can't strobe outdoors, you're limited to, very limited to what you can do. Then I do a series or a tutorial on strobing portraits using ND filters. So what I'm doing is, instead of it having to be forced with a f-stop of f16 or even 22 in some cases, I can now strobe outdoors, complete control over my subject, on my lighting and my subject, and have a very shallow depth of field. So if you have a 1.2 lens or a 1.4 lens, you can strobe that outdoors in full sunlight, and I show you how you do that. It's another fun technique. You got to learn this. And then I do I show one light over the camera and with a model. She's in the water, and it's kind of an artsy picture, and that's, I call that you know, one light overhead. Then I have the most beautiful light on the planet. I call it cross light or Rembrandt light, and I shoot this old miner, and it's an image that Canon used for when they launched a printer, the Pro 1000, and it's one of my favorite shots. And when you see the detail in this picture, I also used HDR on that one, but it's cross light. It's just, cross light is a beautiful light that you have to learn how to master, and so I cover it on that tutorial. And then we do stitching ultra megapixels. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a portrait, but I'm stitching it to make huge files. And so why would you do that? Well, a couple reasons. One is I can create even an ultra shallower depth of field than I normally can with, in this case it was my 7200, I shot at 200 to 2.8, but it looks like it's shot at, you know, 1.1 almost. It's so amazing on how much shallow depth of field I get out of this picture, but it's mainly to get huge files. So I have a printer that's 60 inches wide. I go 60 by 90, or in this case I could have gone 60 by probably 120 inches, and make these huge files. And what I do is I make these files so big that I can pretty much have no interpolation. So when I go and send that file over to the printer, it is native resolution coming off that file, and so there's no loss in resolution, and the picture, the images look phenomenal. And then last, I do 3-light edgy portrait on location, so it's not in a compositing studio scenario. I show how to do this. I just shot for Fiji water last week. We did a campaign, and it was this exact same technique in the field, and I did it with all the athletes, and it's perfect. It's like the best lighting to do for that drama, building that drama. So I show how to do that in the field. So you get, again, 7 tutorials with 6 hours of training, over 6 hours of training. We have 5 lucky winners. So if you click on the link below, it'll direct you to where you can sign up. And I believe in some cases, if you go through, it's some Facebook Gleam giveaway, you can increase your odds by doing some things and by multiple signing up. And so this ends on February 28th. So you have 10 days of this. I'm recording this right now. We have 10 days left before this thing expires. So sign up today and learn something new.